Hey Capricorns! Welcome back to the Guiding Chariot and welcome to your new April reading. Alright my loves, we're going to get right into it. First, let me say thank you so much for being patient with me. The beginning of April has been a little wild for me. I got crazy sick, so I didn't have the energy, and you'll notice I'm not at home, so I am away for a little bit. So I hope you like the new area. Next week I probably will be filming in the same place. Most likely we'll do a pick a card. We'll see. We'll see what happens next week. Every week's a new adventure. But with that said, house rules still apply, Capricorns. So this will be a general reading for all Cappy, Sun, Moon, and Rising signs. Oh, okay, we'll grab that. I just saw what it is. That's hilarious. And my only ask, you guys know, do not force any of the messages. Take them as they resonate. If something pops up, doesn't fit your circumstances, doesn't fit your situation, just leave it on the table and take the rest. Oh, you guys are real jumpy. Hold on, let me move that. The first one that popped out. I think we're going to go for one more. We'll go for another one. Cappies, I will... Okay, thank you. Oh, you got two. I will say, if you're Cappy, if you are a cuspy with Sag, you may want to check out the Sag reading. They also got this card, and they also got 5 cards like you did. Everyone else has gotten 4, so you guys got a little extra. So maybe worth checking out if you are, or if you have a lot of Sag placements, maybe. If you tend to resonate with the Sag readings, maybe you're a Sag rising, might be worth checking out. Kind of getting used to this new angle. Make sure you can see everything. All right, that's close enough. All right. So first one out. Listen. So Cappies, keeping your ears open. Right. And one thing I said to Sages that came through with the listen card. Yes, it is about being open. You know, being perceptive to messages, whether they're internal or external. You know, depend on you. But just paying attention to things, being open to things. But one thing that came through for them that I'm going to repeat and share with you, this listen gave me more of a sense of like audio qualities, like listening to music to like center yourself or to find inspiration, or maybe for some of you to even find motivation. Like listening to music is going to be a big thing. So that, along with, you know, just what this card normally means about just having, you know, being sensitive to things, being open, having mindfulness, all that kind of stuff. The added kind of message of resting or healing, or like I said, finding inspiration through auditory methods. So whether it's, and it may not even be music. That's just the example I'm giving. It may be like going outside and listening to bird songs, maybe listening to the ocean waves, taking in, and that helps with the mindfulness too, right? Because you're present, you're listening to this particular moment, like what's going on, what's happening, what's around you, right? So things going on there. So just something, just throwing that out to be aware of. And I think we have White Rose of Hope is your next card. Now, when I think of this card, for sure I think of the white rose as a symbol of peace, hope, for sure. I mean, it's in the card, right? White Rose of Hope. But this card can speak to new beginnings. It may even be solutions to things that have been like dragging on or are finally reaching their ending. So again, beginning and endings. But this beautiful message of hope, optimism. Some of you, there may even be... Normally when I see this card, I always think that you are serving as a beacon. Like you are the white rose, you are the light in a certain situation. Honestly, for some reason, I'm looking at this and I feel like you're looking at the beacon. Like I feel like you're looking at something. Like you can see the lighthouse on the coast and you're coming into shore. I feel like there's like a guiding star that's leading you. Like you're being drawn to the beacon versus... Normally when I see this card, I get it the other way around. But I do think something is there to capture your attention or send you a message. Which might be why the listen card is coming through so strongly. Something to be aware of. Then you have the Flower Spirit, which this card is so cute. It is the cutest little thing, isn't it? Really adorable. And this particular card is really, it's a very gentle card. It has to speak to tenderness and innocence and joy. It does also, sorry if you can hear my phone going off. Cappy, you know who you are, Cappy. Why are you texting me right now? Do you know your reading's happening? It's you. I don't know if you can hear the phone. It's one of my Cappy friends messaging, so perfect timing. But this is a card, what was I saying? Oh yeah, tenderness, gentleness, joy. It can speak to friendship. You can kind of see this little flower spirit is all chummy with her little flower friend. But it does also speak to aspects of your soul, that inner child, right? That childlike, like wide-eye kind of innocence. It's just seeing everything with this really sweet, open perception and perspective of the world. I mean, it's a really nice, positive, innocent thing. I almost feel like, especially since we were talking about this white rose of hope, and looking at that beacon, I almost feel like whatever this rose symbolizes for you right now, it has something to do with taking you back. Maybe for some of you, it's connecting with that inner child. There might be some inner child healing going on, or connecting to that part of you that is, a little freer, less restricted, less, the part of you that unfortunately has to adult nowadays, right? Connecting to that part of you that is really playful and passionate and does things on a whim because it feels good or it feels right or it would make you happy. I feel like part of that is connecting you to that particular energy. You also have the rose garden. It's interesting, you have 3 rose or flower related things in a row. But the rose garden is a card of beginnings. It's also a card of sensitivity, which kind of echoes what was going on with the Listen and White Rose, because Listen is all about being sensitive, right? Sensitive to your surroundings, having that mindfulness. The White Rose of Hope, so being hopeful for these clean starts, this fresh start. All of that is kind of summed up together in the Rose Garden, which is kind of interesting that it's repeating itself, especially the sensitivity. So for some of you, this sensitivity might be, yes, around your surroundings. There might be some emotional aspects that pop up in there as well, whether they're yours or another's. If they do, for the majority, I think it's going to speak to your sensitivities. If it is someone else's, it's going to be someone very close to you, like featured in the flower spirit. It's someone you're very, very, very close to. Whether it's a partner, it could just be a friend. More than likely, it's probably just a friend. It's not going to be, I don't necessarily see a romantic partner that we're talking about. And I kind of always mention with the Rose Garden, this is a good card to kind of indicate a need to kind of get outside into nature, right? That's not necessarily going to be for all of you. Maybe some of you live in a city and it's not that type of a thing. But the Rose Garden card specifically a lot of times speaks to connecting with nature. It doesn't even have to be going outside. You can connect with a house plant or things like that. But getting some greenery, getting some of the elements into your surroundings, usually a good thing when the Rose card pops up. And then you have the Miss Sunshine card. This beautiful card. This is actually, I think you're like the third or fourth sign, I think, that this card has popped up. And it's a great card. It is a card of, think the Sun card in tarot. It's a card of life, vitality, brightness, radiance. But it's about coming out of all this shadow time, all this shadow period. So coming through rougher experiences, but still shining bright, still being the beacon, still being radiant, being authentic to yourself. Persevering through whatever this dark night of the soul moment was. So beautiful card to come out at the end. So you have a couple cards speaking to being sensitive and aware of surroundings, aware of messages that are coming around you, this tender, gentle nature that it is still a part of you. It's in there somewhere, right? That white rose is trying to bring it out, but it's there, right? And even it's right in the middle. So a lot of you, there may be a little connecting to your inner child, that inner self, that playful part of you, trying to bring that out, maybe to express some sensitivity outwards, maybe take down some harsh exteriors, help remove some obstacles, and then truly being authentic to yourself. Because a lot of us will put a little facade up to, make us tougher and, help us to brave the trials and tribulations of life. I think a lot of that is trying to be stripped away from you right now. Not necessarily destroyed, but, we're just going to lower the zipper a little bit because a lot of that, I think, has covered up too much of you. And if that's not resonating, then this is just you pushing through into brighter days, right? So, again, I've got to take it as it resonates. I'm just making them general so everyone can kind of take what they need. All right, let's get into the tarot, shall we? Oh, nope, not taking that. Nope, I guess we're taking that. Actually, here, let's try and move these up. We'll give ourselves a little more room. You may see me do that a couple times. I'm still kind of getting used. Oh, gee, that was a lot. You know what? Well, we're going to take them. Okay, let's take a little pause there. All right. Hey, all right. Ooh. Get excited, everyone. So first card that came out was the Page of Swords. So Page of Swords, if you've gotten this card before and you've seen my readings, you know I always describe this card with a quote from Cinderella, right? Just because it's what is done, it doesn't mean it's what should be done, right? I love that line. Great line. But this is my little rebel. This is my problem solver, my creative thinker. We're going to step outside of the box a little bit here with this Page of Swords. I sometimes describe this one, this card particularly, not all Page of Swords, but this particular Page of Swords, I sometimes will describe it as planting seeds, right? And when I say planting seeds, like putting little thoughts out there, whether they're being put into the ether, whether they're, you're saying this to people and actually like putting thoughts in people's head, not in a manipulative way, but in a way where you're planting seeds for something to grow, right? Here with this dandelion, you're just kind of casting them to the wind. Some of them maybe just to see what grows. Like I'm just so curious what would happen if, and some of these seeds are kind of being thrown out. It's that little fun, little tricky trickster side of you Capricorns, and some of them are actual manifestations, right? But they do require you to shake things up, do things differently, right? Because again, there's a lot of Uranian energy, a lot of Aquarius energy in there. Because we want to do something different. We want to shake things up. So, also can speak to new beginnings, right? When we talk about pages, they can be new. What's super exciting, though, is that you have counterparts in here. King and Queen of Cups. Love this. So the King actually showed up in reverse, and I flipped him over. That was what fell in my lap. So it could be dealing with a water sign for some of you. It's not necessary. But we definitely have a counterpart connection here. I honestly, looking at this, I feel like you guys are more in the Queen of Cups energy, only because we talked about we're upping our awareness and our mindfulness, we're upping our sensitivity for some of you. This particular energy is quite guarded, especially when she shows up in the reverse, which she did not, so we don't have to worry about that. But even upright, she is very protective of her space, her emotions, her heart. She's not necessarily closed off, but only the privileged few, get access to that. And then you have the King of Cups, guardian of the emotions, master of the emotions, right? He rules this sea. Having it show up in the reverse makes me wonder if there is a divine counterpart, especially a masculine counterpart coming in. And remember, when I say masculine, it has nothing to do with gender. It's more about the energy, so it could be a man or a woman. Doesn't matter. This person may be sorting some things out. I honestly didn't feel upright was correct, so that's why I righted it. But just know, maybe someone's coming in after having healed something, after having gone through something we talked about with the Miss Sunshine card as well, right? Being radiant and light through the darkness. I think that's something that you help this person with, or you show this person. You've already done it, so you can let them know how they do it. Doesn't mean you are walking them through it. That's their responsibility. That's their job, right? he's a grown man, right? King of Cups, he's a grown man. He can handle it, but he may just need to be pointed in the way, right? So you may just help with that process. And then right between them, you have the Eight of Wands. This is communication, right? This is speed, haste. It also can be quite sudden when the Eight of Wands pops up, you know, whatever it's speaking of. Think of like all these umbrellas. With all that, all of a sudden a sudden wind blows up and you go flying into the sky. So this union can be coming in literally out of the blue and just sweep you up in an instant. Don't even realize it's happening, and then it happens. So be prepared for that. This also may be why they want you to connect with your inner child, because it may just be, it literally may be that spontaneous or that serendipitous, where if you're like, well, no, it has to come this way. He has to ask me out. We have to go to dinner on a Saturday night. He has to look like this. He has to have this kind of job. Like, you know, if you set all those rules, when something new pops in, it's going to be hard, right? It's going to be hard to let it in because you've set up this real tight little box that he has to fit in or she has to fit in. And I feel like it's not going to work out that way. So they want you to be open. They want you to be flexible and frivolous and, you know, have a little spontaneity. And that's where that inner child comes in, because the inner child does things just because it's fun, right? When you're younger, you just want to play ball because it's fun to play ball. You're not worried about, oh, but I'll get my shoes dirty. Oh, I might fall and rip my dress. Oh, I might, you know, get mud stains on my shorts. Like, you don't think about that. You're like, I just want to go play with my friends. Okay, what we got here? Cool. King of Pentacles, great energy for you. Honestly, I feel like this is more attached to this other king coming in. So someone well manifested, very grounded. You know, he got some coins, so we definitely not mad at him for that. Oh, excuse me. Someone, you know, grounded, practical, logical. Might be a little slow mover, so keep an eye out for that, especially having both of these kings in there, because this king, although he feels everything, right, he feels all the emotions, may not necessarily be the most open to talk about them. He feels them, but doesn't necessarily talk about them. And then this king, quite a slow mover, right, because he's stable, he's grounded, he's not trying to rock the boat, so you might have a slow moving king coming towards you, so just know that, but very dedicated, very committed, right? So it might just take him a little time to peep up. And then here you have the Six of Pentacles and you have the Two of Pentacles. Now I know Six of Pentacles is a card people talk about. Oh, sorry, I was thinking Six of Cups. Whoa, that was funny. I was going to say, people talk about it as a card of past, but I don't see that. I was like, of course I don't see it. It's not the Six of Cups. Six of Pentacles, giving and receiving, allowing that flow, right? Reciprocity is going to be a key signature of this person. So maybe in past relationships, flow has only been going in one direction, right? It's only been going out. This is a balance where it's going to go both ways, that's what we want. And you actually have two cards speaking to that, because even the Two of Pentacles is about balance, right? Being flexible. I always describe it as a water bottle, right? If you tip a water bottle over, the water just flows to the other side. It doesn't fight. It doesn't try to stay up at the top. It just flows. So you are also being asked to just flow. Again, connected to that inner child. Just go with what feels right. Like, if it's going to be fun, if you want to experience it, just do it. Don't overthink it. Don't question it. Don't, you know, storm and brood over it. Just do it. Be a little impulsive. Yep. Seven of Cups in reverse. Don't think about it. Don't sit in the frustration. Just do it. It's not about being clouded. It's not about weighing all the options. Just be impulsive. Be impulsive. I feel like I want to do one more card, even though that's a great outcome. That's kind of perfect with the Seven of Cups. But it's about just being impulsive. I kind of almost want to tell you to give in a little bit. Now, that doesn't mean you fall for red flags and be like, well, he said give in, even though this seems uncomfortable and I don't want to do this. He said give in. No, if you're seeing red flags, completely different, right? I'm just saying, if there's an opportunity that maybe normally you would second guess, you'd be like, oh, give me some time, I want to think about it. You know, it's just making you nervous because it's new. That's what I'm talking about. If something feels sketch, it's probably sketch. So use your discernment there. But it does look a choice is going to be made about something that is just going to want you to go for it. As long as you don't see danger signs, it's going to be a good thing. We even started this reading with a message of hope. So be optimistic. Expect miracles. Again, and I keep talking about a relationship because those counterparts showed up. So Cappies, if you're single and looking for someone, this is a good sign. The next one that, you know, speaks up or makes his intentions or his or her intentions known, going to be the right one. Do they not want to give us another one? I'm like, I feel like we want one. No, I might be forcing this a little bit. Nothing comes out. Well, nope, see? I was like, if nothing comes out, then they're like, here, take it already. Okay. Look at that. 10 of Swords in reverse. Yes. Love that. All those swords falling out. No one's trying to get you. No one's trying to hurt you. I would almost wonder if you have, and it may not even necessarily be a past relationship for some of you, but if you have notions that people are going to hurt you, or you know, you've had experience where people have been, you know, they've betrayed you or been less than, you know, they appeared to be, maybe someone literally was manipulative to you, that's not coming around again. So do not act in fear, because literally this card is showing you all the swords are falling out. The next person isn't bringing any swords your way, is not bringing any swords your way. So let all of that go. It's okay to trust. It is totally okay to trust. So I'm just saying, Cappies. Now I specifically say the next one because, you know, if you watch enough of my videos, you know I don't necessarily like to read time because time is relevant. You know, it's whatever. It's different for each of us. So could be soon, could be later, but I do kind of feel like it's the next one for those of you that are resonating. Whether that person is tomorrow, next week, next month, you know, it'll be different. But I do feel it's like the next one you talk to. But this is what you want to look for. You want to look for the qualities of these two kings. So probably really sensitive. Definitely aware of his emotions. May not be super talkative about them. So you're going to have to, at first, you're going to have to like pay attention to the signs, right? If he's really quiet, actually that kind of might be a good hint. King of Pentacles, grounded, stable, really, really practical, probably really good with money, well manifested, right? But someone whose like priority is going to be security for the both of you, right? Two very, very strong personalities kind of fused into one. And it's a nice balance of the practicality with that emotional sensitivity. Very high emotional IQ there, right? So definitely not someone who's going to do this, because they are probably aware of how much that hurts, and it's not in their nature to want to do that to another person. All right? Oh, right. And then we also talked about that reciprocity. So in the way you two talk to each other and interact, as you are generous with them, you will see that return to you, right? Which is probably something you haven't seen in the past. You probably were with someone who took, right? And then thought they deserved it, so they just kept it. You know, it's kind of that kind of thing. But Cappies, I am going to wrap up your reading. Oh, I didn't even realize we were over 20 minutes. Look at that. I'm going to wrap up your reading there. But as always, thank you for all your love and support. If you like this video, please make sure to hit the like button, leave a comment down below. If you're new, please subscribe and hit the notification bell. Best way to be notified when our next reading pops up. I will probably do some pick-a-card readings next week, so stay tuned for those. I think that format might be a little easier considering my upload situation here at this house. So we'll see. I don't know. You never know. We might do it different. But yeah, I'm going to wrap it up there. Take care, Cappies. I love you guys, and I will see you in your next video. Bye.